Today we're going to take a look at the Huntsman from Spider Grills. It's part kettle grill, part Kamado grill, and a form factor you may not have seen before. Let's find out today if this beauty is worthy of a place on your back patio. I'm David Gafford here at the Barbecue Lab, and we test over 100 new cooking appliances every year just like this to help you make educated decisions on what you're going to put on your back patio. Today we're going to take a look at this kettle Kamado and see if it's more kettle or more Kamado, so let's dive in. As always, we'll have links in the description for everything we're talking about in this video, and stick with us to find out how you can save 10% on your Spider Grills purchase. When comparing the Huntsman to a kettle grill, I want to walk through some similarities. First is the height from the charcoal to the cooking grate. In a kettle, there's usually about 6 inches from the coals to your food. In a Kamado, that distance is usually about a foot. Now the Huntsman measures 6 inches from the coals to the grate, so it's kettle-like in this way. A kettle grill and the Huntsman both deal with ash in the same way as well. You'll see a 3-bladed agitator in the bottom of the bowl that's connected to a handle. Just move it back and forth and the ash falls through into a pan that's attached underneath. A Kamado handles ash by sweeping it out of the bottom of the basin using an ash rake, so the Huntsman is very kettle-y in this way. As you see on this kettle grill, there are no side shelves, and the Huntsman comes the same way out of the box. There are optional shelves that you can add to the grill, but they're on pre-order at the time of this video and coming as an eventual add-on. The Huntsman has a tripod design with 3 legs, just like most other kettles. The wheels on the Huntsman are a welcome upgrade to other kettles I've worked with, and the locks on the wheels are easy to press on and an easy kick off. When comparing the Huntsman to a Kamado, we have to start with the hinged lid. With kettle grills, the lid usually has to come off completely. Some of them you have to set them on the ground, and it's just a hassle. This hinge is very Kamado-like and very easy to work with. The Huntsman and a Kamado are also both designed to keep the heat in. There are gaskets around the lid on a Kamado, and if you're lucky, you'll find an oven-grade gasket. The Huntsman has that oven-grade gasket on the lid, on the swing-open front door, and on the controller attachment points on the bottom of the kettle. Kamado grills are known for their ability to allow lump charcoal to cool off and be reused, and the Huntsman can do that as well. Kettle grills, not so much, as charcoal is usually completely consumed with excess oxygen having access after a cook is finished. By the way, if you're getting value out of this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you want more videos just like this. There are some differences between a Kamado cooker and the Huntsman. Kamado grills are largely made of incredibly thick ceramic. That material is fired in a kiln at about 2400 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's really good at holding heat. The Huntsman doesn't have any ceramic, but the cooking chamber is made of 5mm thick carbon steel. It's not quite 1/4 inch like you'd find in some of the best made offset smokers, but it's by far the thickest wall on a kettle grill I've ever seen. When it comes to the exterior of Kamados, like the Sapphire model, it's covered with a glaze that's fired on the ceramic, and that's incredibly easy to clean and withstands the elements. The outside of the Huntsman is carbon steel with a black paint applied. It's not that hard to clean, but it's not as easy as glazed ceramic. Building the fire itself in a Kamado happens in a ceramic fire bowl. In the Huntsman, it happens on a metal grate suspended over the carbon steel grill bottom. Kamados also narrow from the top to the bottom, so the width available for a fire is less than the width of the cooking grate. On the Huntsman, there's no narrowing, and the fire can be as large as the cooking grate if you want full charcoal coverage. One last difference I'll make note of here is that the cooking height of a Kamado is between 3 to 5 inches higher than that of a kettle. The interaction height when you're flipping burgers or searing a steak is lower on the Huntsman, but I did notice that they're launching an extension pack add-on to bring the cooking height even with most Kamados. It's not available at the time of this video, but according to their website, it's coming. In just a second, I'm going to tell you about the Venom digital controller on the Huntsman, but first I want to take a second to give a shout out to one of our Kickstarter backers, Matt Redshaw. It's thanks to our supporters like Matt that we now have our first ever spice blends available on our website. Matt, I hope you've been enjoying your new seasonings, and we can't thank you enough for jumping on board and supporting what we do here. If there's one thing that really differentiates this grill from both a kettle and a Kamado, it's the digital controller that comes in the box. Sure, you could add a fan controller to a Kamado, but it's almost always a third-party controller fan, and I have problems eliminating extra air getting in while using many of them. You can also use a controller fan in a kettle grill, but most of them require drilling into the kettle, and I don't know about you, but I don't like making new holes in my grills. The Huntsman uses the Venom temperature controller, and it fits tight to the bottom of the grill. We've cooked with this grill in the below freezing temperatures of January and February in Indiana, and digitally controlled grills are my favorite grills to test during the winter months. We cooked low and slow by setting up an indirect 2-zone fire and made some pork protocol pork belly burnt ends. The pork went straight on the grill opposite where we built the fire, and I set the grill temperature to 275 degrees from inside the house. Low and slow cooking is something that the Huntsman can do as long as you set it up for indirect cooking. There are add-ons coming that will enable full grate indirect options, but they're not available at the time of this video. After the pork belly finished, I kicked the grill up to 450 degrees, and it was time to grill some boneless, skinless chicken thighs with our own feathered formula rub. We eat these multiple times every week at the Gafford house, and the auto temp control made it so I didn't have to stand outside the entire time. We even did some shrimp skewers after the chicken finished up, and this grill cooks very much like a kettle grill. Proximity to the charcoal gives great heat at great level. We had other cooks we did as well, but I don't need to belabor the point. We cooked on it a lot, it was easy to control from inside the house, and I liked it. One more thing I'll add is that I found the Spider Grills app really user-friendly, and I was a big fan of the pause feature that I could engage whenever I opened the grill to work with my food. That kept the fan from kicking up my fire thinking the grill was losing heat. The pause feature was easy to engage and very effective. If you're in the market for either a kettle grill or a Kamado grill, I would give the Spider Grills Huntsman a serious look. It's more than a kettle, and it can run with many of the Kamados I've tested here at the Barbecue Lab. As promised, you can save 10% on your purchase if you use the code LAB10 when you check out on the Spider Grills website. Now you might be asking, is this a sponsored video since you have a discount code? Spider Grills sent us the grill to test out. They didn't tell us how to test it or even that we had to make a video on it. They just said, see what you think, and if you want to shoot or write something, here's a code that you can use. So you've got our thoughts and a discount code to save 10%. Now it's just up to you to decide if this is the right grill for your patio or backyard. I'm David with the Barbecue Lab. Behind the camera is my stunning wife, Melissa. Smash like if you got value. Know that new hats and sweatshirts are now in the merch store over on our website, so head over and check them out, and we will see you on the next one.